started. We got a quorum. And so, introduction of our guest, we actually, I don't know if everybody knows Chief Mayor, or whatever you want to call it. You're our guest today, so we just want to invite you, kind of find out a little bit what you knew about the library, and then kind of tell you where we're at a little bit, just kind of give you some information. Not beg for money today, but just kind of say, hey. Tell us a little bit what you know about the library. I mean, you helped us in the past with the police officers.
Well, I'll tell you how what I know. When I walked in, I saw Abby at the door. I said, Abby, am I on this board or am I here? So if that gives you an idea of what I walked into. First month has just been a whirlwind, as you can expect, drinking from a fire hydrant. So I wasn't sure if, is this a new committee that I'm on?
You get to be a guest.
So, it's I was with the police department when Donald Trump came to raise money for this event, and I got to provide, working with his guy, I got to be the other person who was providing security with him at the moment.
Wow.
Formed an early opinion of him at that moment that I won't share with everybody from a personal perspective, but it was a valuable use of the time that, contributed money towards this.
This building,
I've tried to, continue to keep a relationship with Abby and others, with the library for a long time. And I don't know, I guess you came, both of y'all may have come to the office when you were
We did.
when you were thinking about these, I don't know what you call them, the outdoor spaces on each wing, and early on brought those plans there. And I thought they were great ideas then, it's, and looking forward to when they get opened up and realize, we've had some internal issues before, and I see that I'm glad the city's still partnering to make sure this is a safe, welcoming space for families, and anybody who wants to come in, can come and spend their time here. And you come to a library, and the library is, you experience things you expect at a library, not things you don't expect at a library. So I think we're in a much better place with that as well. And recognize the issue always, because it's everywhere I go. The answer is money. Now what's the question? And that's kind of what government is.
Right.
So realize there's always funding challenges, and I haven't seen your numbers, so I don't know to what extent Lauderdale County participates with us. Although I would hope and expect that they are contributing and partners with you. So any good community has a library in it that's active and engaging and has programs, and I think you guys have done an exceptional job. I mean, to the point, probably the first 3D printer I saw may have been with you guys at one time. And I don't know what the latest of that is, but I did walk in and see some of that at one point. So, appreciate the programs you guys do. I think you've got a great reputation, got really good things going, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Well, that's good. And so, that's why this is our budget right here. You can take, we won't go over it with you right now.
Twice you've mentioned that, suddenly.
Well, I mean, that's kind of, because you kind of brought up we get a significant funding from the city. The county does participate, not near the level the city participates, right? So that's an ongoing relationship that's probably normal with every, at least it has been. I was on the Athens Library Board, and it was the exact same thing. The county owns half this building, right? So the city owns half, county owns half, and so there are things that come up that we will reach out to both of you guys, basically, if something is up with the building. We did fundraise a lot of money for the outdoor classrooms and some donations. I think the city helped us with a grant.
We got a community development block grant for $150,000.
Okay. All right.
We are not here to complain. We feel like we have a real good relationship with the city, so it's really a thank you. But the library is only going to be as good as what the community makes it, right? And so books are important, programming is more important, probably. That's my opinion. I'll say that, speaking to the library. But in my past experience from Athens, it was all about what programs are you doing at the library. And that's kind of what drives costs too. How many people you have, how many programs, how many people we have participating. So we want that to reflect what the city and the county wants, more of the city, because we're just closer to the city. But we still have a lot of participation from the county. So I don't know what the ratio is, Abby, but it's significant county use as compared to city use. We feel like we're an extension of the school system as well. I think they work good with what's going on, to make sure we have the books and stuff that the students need.
Right.
But it's, it's from, basically cradle to the grave is what our services we provide. We know that life is, lifelong learning is the goal, right, to make a better community. So we just kind of want to give you a heads up. We do, we rely on the security, and that was set up. I don't know how long ago that's been, but that was set up to make sure that there's a safe environment for the customers or whoever, whatever you want to call them, the people that
Patrons.
patrons that visit the library. We want to make sure it's a safe, inviting environment. The outdoor classrooms will be opened up soon if they're not already, but we'll do a grand opening. You guys will be invited and stuff. And so we do want that to be a very community-oriented opportunity for people to have events and things out there as well. But we are fortunate to have a sizable endowment as well. Dr. Burford, I don't know if you knew him, but he has left a lot of money to the library and given a lot of money during his lifetime. And really, a lot of people didn't even know he did it while he was living. He did the same thing with the university. He was big on education. So we have reserves, so we're not frightened like, hey, the library's gonna go out of business. But it will depend on what kind of services that you want us to provide here, right? And so that's kind of, we just want to get in front of you on that. And we're comparing ourselves to other libraries right now, so we have to have some more information to where we can, validate, hey, this is what you want in your community, that kind of library. So, and I know you guys are doing the same thing. We do the same thing at university, right? You got to be efficient. But we didn't want to get it on your radar that, and we do need help with the city. I'm not going to speak off the numbers because you can see them, right? But you see the difference between city, county, and state. And the state, that 125 will get, the state will turn around and give it 68 of it to other libraries. Yeah, they'll split libraries.
Almost right at 69.
Well,
Yeah.
between the county and the state funding, totals that 69.
Okay. They take from both of them.
Yes.
Okay, so, and that's kind of where we just wanted to get on your radar, and then, if there are efficiencies, the security right now is costing us about 70 grand. I think that's just split up. I think we just hire people individually, right? So, I don't know if there's some opportunity to have like a resource officer like we do schools or something, to have one for the library, but just things like that to think about if there's some economies of scale that would work. But we have to have security, right? And I think
It's made a huge difference.
we've tried like the mall cop, and that don't work, right? So that's not.
They just didn't do well.
No. So, yeah, well, I say that. Benita and Abby was a big no on that.
Yeah.
Just a lot of good things happen in the library, right? Some of the city, and I was in economic development before. A library is top 5 in economic development. When a company's coming in to look, they're gonna look at your library, right? And so we know that economic development's important to you, right? But, I want you to know that we have a fabulous library, and we got a lot of good people here, and we're doing some studies now, and it's like, we're like a little nonprofit, everybody's underpaid, right? And so I know some cities are, departments of the city. Well, and that was it was not that way at the city of Athens, because it would have, if my librarian would have became a department head, it would have cost me a lot of money at the city. And so that was never done that way. But the problem here, even if it was options, we're in a state retirement. Florence has got their own. So it wouldn't be an easy fix either. There'd be some, maybe through attrition or something, but just things to think about that we want to put on your radar. If we're not doing something we need to be doing, let us know that too. Right? But we just want to let you know that we are looking at some we got some decisions to make, right? They're not tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we're leading. So next year's budget, which we're a year away from, we'll probably come call and have some conversations with you, is all we're gonna say. But
is year over year, has that changed much?
yeah, it has.
It has, okay.
Yeah, I think even when we first started doing security, I think there was like a little increase
Yes.
to help with that. And
Help offset it. Yeah.
I think there was something else.
And maybe a couple years ago,
We didn't request an increase this time, but the past 2 years before we have gotten one, so.
Yeah.
So definitely, we've been heard. And we do the same request with the county that we do with the city.
Right.
So it's not like that's the only request we make, but sure, we've definitely had friends at City Hall in the last probably, I don't even know how long I've been on this board, but for as long as I've been on here, the city's been good. I told them, I was talking about, because I was the city guy at the other, when the city library was coming to me. That's why they ended up putting me on the board later. It's like, would you please go there and help these people? Right? Because they're always asking for money. And so when you get there, it's like anything else. You think, well, these people do need money.
Yeah.
So, but we do have a really good library, and it goes back. It's a reflection of the community, right? This is a good community, right? I feel like that's definitely been a help of it. But we will be coming back to you next year. Is all we want to kind of give you a heads up on.
Be looking for that. The is it state of Alabama funding? Is that set? Or does it come through a separate fund, or they just do that? They give money to libraries?
So it comes through the Institution of Museum and Library Services at the federal level to the
Gotcha.
state, and then they distribute it to all libraries based on population and service area.
Has that been fairly stable as well?
It has.
Okay.
This year stayed about the same as last year, but there was an increase a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And they've had a lot happening and have a new director, so just a lot of changes in Montgomery.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a reflection of our population, right? Which hadn't changed a whole lot,
We
right? So
serve
you can
about
see.
92,000
Okay,
in
so
the
that's
county.
Some of their funding is based on
Yes,
population. Okay.
it is.
Okay. All right.
So,
Yeah. No, I see the needs, and of course I also recognize the value as well. So we'll submit that as early as you can.
Okay.
What those are. I think June is normally when we start trying to put some stuff together. So, and I don't know when they've had you submit it in the past, but that'll June is a good time.
Okay.
When all the early discussions start.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And we want to be a good partner of the cities too, so if there are initiatives and programs and things that you'd like to see us involved in, we try to be as much as we can, but we definitely want to be part of the community success that's in our mission statement. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so far you have been.
Thank you.
There's no question about it. Great reputation.
Thank you. And this board is selected by the city council, and
Okay.
they do serve 5-year terms, potentially with a second term. So that's to give you a little bit about that.
I got you. Good.
I am also on the foundation board as a representative of this board for the Libraries Foundation. And you are on that board as well.
Okay.
Yep.
That is a board I'm on.
That is a board you're on.
Yeah.
But I think he's basically I think maybe a non-voting member. But
does the city need to appoint
and
somebody?
so, yes, that's what I was
Yes.
gonna bring
Okay.
up as well. So Bentley Anderson is the Anderson Family
Right.
Foundation on the board with us and representative. And we've been talking and we would like to get a meeting on the books early in the year after the holidays sometime. But we've tried to get Jackie Hendricks. Usually it's this district's councilman is appointed to the board.
Is
But
that a mayoral appointment or a council appointment? Do
I
you know
think
that?
I
council.
think it is council.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in the
And
bylaws, it kind of follows, in the foundation bylaws, it
Gotcha.
follows
Yeah.
mayor and council representative.
Gotcha,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, in the past it was always Dick Gordon as this
Right.
district. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So then who else is on it?
The
There's-
Friends president, which
Yeah.
is currently William Smith, and then Ann Taylor represents this board.
And
And
Bentley
Bentley.
and Bentley
So
Anderson.
it's 5
Foundation
members.
board, okay.
And Bentley's a teacher, so her schedule's a little bit different. I think she said Saturdays are wide open, which are also not as wide open for me. But that sometimes we've met before on like a holiday when she would be off. I think it was
Like we did
President's Day, didn't we? Yeah. Or she said like a 4:30 or 5 o'clock meeting,
Right.
which I can do or whatever. So I'll maybe wait and maybe we can get an appointment for the board. I told Jackie also that we needed that. But maybe we can work towards that and then January, February, get a meeting together, and she would like to see what all the library we could help with. And they've helped with outdoor classrooms as well. And I gave her that update
Okay.
to let her know that we will be doing ribbon cutting after the new year, and we're waiting on gates and some final touches to be finished and installed. Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth, she, the administrative assistant,
Yes.
she just puts stuff on my calendar and
Okay.
I just show
We
up.
can
So
remember.
Yeah, I do
I'll
include
be-
her in my emails a lot of times too.
And the foundation's goal is not really to help with operational expenses, but to take the library to the next level is always to provide
Yes,
innovative
make it
programs
exceptional,
for,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and they probably purchased like the 3D printer and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
They did.
Okay, okay,
So,
yeah, I
it's-
got you.
and they've been pretty adamant about that, the Andersons, just
Mhm.
don't call me for maintenance.
Right.
Yeah.
But-
Right.
And,
Or
and that's about $2
operations.
million
Mhm.
that they do provide us the earnings off of.
Yeah, okay.
So we're using every nickel we have, right?
Yeah. So we worked hard to get more earnings off that to help the library in other ways, but yeah.
Yes.
Now, I'm sorry, I didn't, do you
I
know
know.
everybody?
Let's.
You know,
Yeah.
we could probably go through
I'd say
introductions. Yes.
The FCS for how much longer? No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Deion Johnson. I'm a representative from Florence City Schools.
Okay.
I'm a librarian, school librarian.
Good. I was gonna ask about the partnership with Florence City Schools, so
Okay.
obviously it's a very good one, so yeah, okay, good. Great.
Craig Cassidy,
Great.
local citizen. When Trump came through this building many, many years ago, I owned that coffee shop
All
right
right,
over there.
I
So
got
I
you.
was in this building when we had our grand opening 22 years ago.
Yeah.
Have moved around, worked with a lot of other libraries throughout Alabama, and am back just in this area. So I think I'm the newest. I know I'm the newest board member. Happy to be here.
Yeah, good. I walked by and I was like, ah, the coffee shop being right there. I had that thought as I was walking back in, so yeah.
I'm Michael Carr. I'm the second newest board member. I was installed last year. I'm a transplant from Birmingham, but I've lived here in Florence for about 15 years. Just a local attorney.
Yeah, good. Always good to have an attorney on.
Yes, that's what we
have
thought.
taken advantage of
Yeah,
that.
I bet, right.
So anyway, but we appreciate your time.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely,
Let
thank
us
you.
know what
Thank
we
you so
can
much.
do, but otherwise, we just kind of want to give you an update on what was going on.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you.
And she and I, Benita as well, we all have a good relationship and we stay in good communication. I mean,
Yes.
and that'll continue, I would think. So, yeah, good. Y'all let me know. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
sir.
I'll let y'all finish your work and I'll move on to my next one.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. It's my calendar.
Yeah.
Doing that got me burnt Friday.
Yeah, I know, I was there.
Yeah, no, it was,
I almost texted you, I thought, nah, he's already working.
Well, I had several of those texts on my way, and I'm like, I was told to be here at 12 o'clock. Actually, between 12 and 12:15, I thought I was on time. So,
You handled it really well. though.
I
it's,
heard that too.
yeah, it was a terrible feeling.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I was thinking the worst. I'm like, well, he must be dead, right? No way he would be late.
That's right. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank y'all very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, all righty. Now we got our old business, our approval of our November 18th minutes. Anybody got a chance to? Of course, there was only 3 of us there.
Mhm.
So, I hear a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you. Motion passes. Our October 25 financial statement review.
Okay, so Evan and Benita and I met and had a training on QuickBooks, which was very helpful. So we talked about, well, so far it looks like October is the only full month that is entered. So we talked about just generating the reports monthly based on that. We also talked about the possibility of presenting this information quarterly rather than monthly, which is also when we receive our main city, county, and state appropriations. So I printed out the statement of activity, statement of financial position, and Evan recommended the comparison, which shows this year compared to last year. Once the FY26 budget is entered, I can also print out the actual versus the
Okay.
budget. It just wasn't in there yet.
Yeah.
So we just kind of wanted to open a discussion about which reports you all would like to see and how often, and if this is helpful.
I didn't want to make the decision on that, so.
Yeah.
I told, and y'all may serve on other boards as well. I mean, if you're hanging on by the skin of your teeth, then yeah, let's look at a report every month, right? the library's in good financial shape, so I don't know that we need a financial report every month when we can do it by the quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, but I didn't want to make that decision. That'd be my recommendation, but I wasn't gonna make that decision. We worked on QuickBooks a little bit, so Abby and them can kind of generate the reports they want. But instead of them trying to do one every month, that's just work I don't think they need to do. And this, you know, the city's doing some of our accounting work, and then somebody else is doing some of our accounting work, and so it takes a little while to get it. So it would, in my opinion, it would just be better if we just said, hey, let's just look at quarterly financial reports. And that just alleviates a little bit of work for them. It's not like we're, you know, hey, we gotta make, there's no move we're gonna make in 1 month to save the library, right?
Yeah.
So do we really need to look at the financial reports monthly?
And some months there aren't a huge change when we haven't received those revenues.
The main thing I look at is
Expenses.
and then the compared to budget, like to see how close we are to meeting
Right.
budget or if we're trending to go over. Yeah, so that is easier for me to look at.
Okay.
Once you get that, to plug that in, than all of this.
Okay.
This, it would take me some time to go through, just because I
So
don't.
are y'all okay with a budget versus actual quarterly? So we'll have a financial report quarterly, budget versus actual. Because I don't think we approve these, those are information.
No,
that
it's
just-
nothing we approve or, yeah.
Yeah, I just hate to think that y'all are spending hours trying to get that report ready every month when.
Yeah. We just kind of glance over it, like, and that's really where I go down the columns to make sure we're
Well,
trending
and we
on,
need to look at it.
Yeah. for sure.
So
Make sure we-
January.
But I mean, the other thing, I'm sorry, the other thing
Okay.
is, when I was here to help them, what day was that?
Last Tuesday,
So it was the 1st of December. We're not controlling the accounting records, right? We're just getting to look at them. There was still like 3 weeks that hadn't been done.
Yeah,
So,
we can't control that,
yeah, we can't control that either. So we're also giving our really cheap accounting services
Yes.
time to get them done too.
Yeah.
So that just makes all the sense in the world is, hey, once we get a quarter done, then we can do some financial reports and present them to the board.
so hopefully in January, we would have October through December to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Director's report.
All right, we did have the Friends Gala last month, which went really well, with the quick turnaround, and there were pretty good attendance. We also that week had the AAUW hosted author Catherine Coleman Flowers. She did a fabulous presentation on her books, and we had about 60 come for that. We did the bike parade this past Saturday. It was decently attended, not as crowded as it has been sometimes, but it was in the middle of the SEC championship among other events. But it kind of brought it back to the sweet, traditional, more simple event like we
Not
had years ago.
overwhelming,
Yeah. So I think those who came really enjoyed it. We got some nice prizes, and all those who won were cheering and were excited, so that was good. We'll have a Christmas carol this Friday through the Shoals Storytelling Festival, so working with Leslie McCory on that. And the bookstore will be open as well. Howard Zeff has agreed to come in to open it for the event, and they're having their half price sale, so they might generate some sales that way. Thanks to Craig for connecting me with Andrew Robbins. He did come last week from Northwest Shoals. That was a really productive meeting. He was excited to see we have sewing machines in the collaboratory because I guess they send out a survey of what personal enrichment people want, and that was some feedback that they had gotten. So I think he has somebody to teach it, but they didn't have the equipment, so we're able to partner on that.
Great.
And then we keep getting requests for AI classes, and I don't really feel like I know enough to teach that, but he has people who do. So I think there are a lot of topics that we can collaborate on, and then they have grant funding they can apply for just like we do. So I felt like that opened a good door to some collaboration.
Right.
So thank you. ICS has been working on the Windows 11 upgrades. I believe all of the staff computers are finished. He has been working on the public computers, which is a little more challenging since we are open, and he can only do so many at a time, but the goal is to have those finished by the end of December. We'll also have our Polaris upgrade. That's our cataloging system. So last time we did an upgrade, that particular version had several bugs in it, And that's when they told us we had to upgrade our SQL server in order to do this upgrade. So now we've upgraded the server and are ready to do this upgrade. So hopefully all of those kinks will be fixed and worked out this time. And then I did include in new business about the stain and the pergolas. The gates are installed, the correct ones, so they look good. We did want to ask about Hatton's requested a meeting, not sure when that will be just yet. They're saying they're 17,000 over the contract amount for 480. But Nina and I weren't sure because the contract said not to exceed 480, and then the other part of it was not to go past 120 days. So I wanted to ask how we need to address both of those.
That's why we have an attorney on the board.
Yeah. And that meeting has not been scheduled, so I'm glad we could talk today first to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I always like to go through and
Yeah.
peruse the actual contract
Okay.
first and not get an off the cuff answer. But
Okay.
we'll put our heads together and
Okay.
figure out a strategy. And I'm happy to attend that meeting
Okay,
with you. if
that'd be
you'd
great.
like.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep.
Is Greg, I assume,
He
with?
took Jason's position at
Oh,
LED.
okay,
Well, he's
Yes.
serving that role,
okay,
so he's the architect.
okay.
The APLS board did meet, so they adopted some code changes. There hasn't been a whole lot communicated to us about this just yet. It's my understanding we have until the 15th to, if we need to shift some things around. I feel like our library card tiers are already in compliance with what they're wanting, so we were kind of one of the first ones to do the tiered system. So other than that, there are some picture books that may need to shift, but
Okay.
Jessica and I have been talking about that. I did include just some comparison data, and there's a whole big report that APLS issues, so if there's more data that you all would like to see or see it in a different format, I can gladly go back in and generate that. They break it down into population, legal service area, so these were libraries serving over 50,000. And this isn't all of those, but these are the ones that in the past we've sort of considered our peer libraries to compare. So I included the populations we serve. When Evan came last week, I originally had all revenue, but we talked about it'd be more helpful to see government revenue because any of us could have had foundations or big gifts that would adjust that overall revenue. So we've got the government, then the staff numbers. I know that's something we talked about in these meetings before.
That's just
comparing.
the staff employees, the full-time staff, is that what that, okay.
Yes, so full-time staff,
Employees.
circulation numbers, programming, attendance, and then visits. And then with the expenditures, it would be all expenditures. So we're kind of right in the middle across the board.
It's very interesting.
And like I said, if there's something else you want to see or you want to see more, I can do that. There is a link I put on the agenda to the full report if anybody
Oh, okay.
wants to look at it. And this is something we talked about in the future, if we need to pull some numbers to present to the council or the county and say, here's where we stand against our peers,
Yeah.
we could, but we want it to work
In our,
in our favor, yes.
for sure. But I mean, I feel like we're in a good spot.
Yes, we are really
Through
right
all
in the
the
middle.
numbers, yeah,
Uh-huh.
work everything. There's local governments that give more, there's several that give less, or a few that give less, yeah. But the ones that give less have less staff, have less,
Right.
a lot less
Less of
programs.
everything.
Yeah,
Meeting.
yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, all those
Yeah.
numbers, I'm like,
Mhm.
I reviewed it probably several times, looking back over it, yeah. Thanks for pulling that together.
Sure. And I also included, I did get Athens personnel hierarchy, and they have 10 employees, so they do have less than we do. The main differences I noticed were they have one public services coordinator, probably for all of their public services areas, whereas we have a circulation manager and a reference manager. That might have been one. They also don't have like our public affairs and graphic design department. So I guess the question would be is if those tasks are lumped in with these positions, but those are the obvious differences to me. We also have more part-time people than they do. And like the bookkeeper could never do like Benita does facilities and HR and the books. So there's a lot more components to her job than just books.
I think the city's paid their bills.
Okay.
For Athens, not included in that.
Yeah.
I wondered what all you knew about that.
That's why, but I thought there'd be more 10 people, because I think their building's a lot bigger than ours too.
I remember you saying their building was large and
Ours
their
is
expenditures
43,000.
were not huge.
I mean, theirs used to be a grocery store,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so I mean, it's as big as,
Like a little food land or something.
But it's
That's
just
it's a
huge.
Kroger, I think.
Yeah.
Did it divide off? That's huge.
No, I mean, there's,
And just heat and cool and everything, yeah.
I mean, it was redone for, I mean, you wouldn't know that it was a
It's
grocery store now.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's real nice, but I would have thought they'd had more than, but that's why I wanted, the org chart was, see what they're counting, but and I can't fathom that their local government revenue's only $275.
Oh, I did that too. And
Mark
some
that
of
one
these,
was left off.
yeah, some of these these are being reported by staff, so you do have to kind of keep in mind it could be incorrect.
We might get there on that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we wanna stack ourselves up to other communities to make sure we're not an outlier one way or the other.
And does Athens have a large foundation?
Yes.
Didn't you say they did? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so similar to us.
Uh-huh.
April send to tell you hi.
Oh.
That's who the director is.
So I didn't even say her name, and I thought I said there was a board member who used to be on your board that wants us to see this, and she said, tell him hi.
Maybe the one person still likes me.
I think she's been there a
Well, I
long
was the
time.
evil one, the no guy.
The no. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna find, back to the no guy. Okay. Okay, so has anybody got any questions about the stats, the November stats? Hearing none, we will move on to an action item, a new business, the AIT service agreement termination letter. Have we already sent it out?
Mm-hmm.
We did that
Well,
Not the
electronically. didn't we?
AIT one, we did.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay, the AIT is merging we're going one technology, which, is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we need a motion to approve that.
That'd be good.
All in
idea.
If we do, I'll make it.
Okay, got a motion and second for Craig. All in favor? I should really ask if there's any discussion, but any
No, I think
any
everyone
discussion,
was.
all in favor, say
I
aye.
think we discussed it last
Okay.
time.
We did.
somewhat.
And then the pergola
Oh, yeah.
proposal, which there again, that is out of my expertise, so I'm gonna remain silent.
So
But
this is
y'all
what,
have the proposal in front of you.
this is what Hatton received from Chandler Printing.
Okay.
That's the extent that I know.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They didn't want to strip the stain, they were afraid of damaging if they
Okay.
were to strip the existing stain and all of that, so this was kind of a solution, a compromise, I guess.
I'm not
Change
sure.
it.
Let's see.
So just
I had it
primering
in
it and
my
painting
email.
it basically.
Okay. But painting it with a stain, like all in one. I don't have it
I
in
can
front
ask
of
those
me. Yeah.
questions, it doesn't really
Okay.
say.
It didn't really show it, yeah.
It didn't go into big
It says
detail.
front of me, yeah.
When you wanna know what it's gonna look like when it's
Well,
finished.
yeah, we need to.
Yeah, and you would need to select the color, which I've gone by It's been a while and that was,
I've
might
got
be
that.
different,
I've got your sample.
whether that was a solution that works for that quote, I don't know. Yeah. But I'll let y'all kind of weigh in. Y'all heard me voice some opinions. So, I need you.
So I'm well out of my wheelhouse here, but is this like a one and done solution, or is there going to be kind of
Maintenance
recurring
on the,
maintenance every 5 years? They'll need to be repainted.
that
Those are
would
all
be
good
something
questions.
to ask for sure.
I
Yeah.
would say that's probably no different than what's on there now, is my guess, right? So
Yeah.
you're gonna have maintenance regardless, probably,
Yeah.
because it's gonna age, that stain will age.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I don't know what the lifeline is.
yeah, I don't know if it's gonna make it any more frequent for maintenance if you paint it, or less frequent.
There's an option that's better for like, for it to be in weather and water repellent and stuff like that. So they have nicer products out there that last longer, but I don't know.
You know, some wood, you can't do anything with it for a while, it has to age first, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you paint it like my back step should have been painted,
And that's kind of what I was
painted too
told.
early, the other, my middle older guys like, yeah, you know,
That
should have done
Like,
that.
not just to let it weather before we
Thanks.
let
Thanks,
it
Rob.
do it. That's what my own personal contractor came to the computer class one day, so I just
Uh-huh.
asked him,
Yeah,
and that's, his opinion was let it weather a while before we do it, but
yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
That was also when we were talking about stripping it.
Do it all right, yeah.
Well, I can ask some more questions first, or,
Mhm.
I think you and Ann Taylor need to get together. Does anybody else have any strong opinion?
It doesn't bother me.
I don't care.
Yeah. Craig?
I'm in support of.
Then the three of y'all meet, if you have a care.
Of not creating something that the community might be questioning.
Mm.
okay.
Okay, y'all get together.
Well, and then when we meet
We
with
can
Patty,
ask-
we can ask.
Yeah, that would be
those
another
questions
question,
And
just,
then go from there.
yeah. And I'm sure he'll have to turn around and ask Chandler.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bank account discussion.
So that was just,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess Craig and
After.
Michael maybe need to be
After our
updated on
Saturday.
that.
Yeah, the accounting stuff that we don't do, there's some checks that bounced, okay? Because the money didn't get transferred in there. This is all news to me too, I didn't know. We have two accounts. One of them is like the general operating where we write all the checks, and then one of them we deposit the money into, we get like from our appropriations and stuff. Well, then they transfer the money from our appropriation account to our general checking account. Well, the timing was, well, they wrote some checks before they transferred some money. So some checks bounced, which, you know, that's what happens. However, you know, I was very offended that they let them bounce because
They hold
those
both
accounts are both
accounts.
at the same bank.
Mhm.
And so you got 200 grand in one, you know, minus 5,000 in the other one. When I was growing up, that didn't happen, right? You would have not paid the checks. So, but like I said, I don't want to be the spiteful person, but that's not acceptable to me. Now, I know like my kids' accounts, the bank has very strict requirements that they can't overspend their debit card. Right? That's the whole point of having a debit card, is to control your spending. So my kids can't, right? But if I wrote a check to Joe's Plumbing for $1,200 and I just didn't transfer the money over, they better still pay it, right? But that's not what happened to us. So, and I know a lot of banks offer some kind of program where they'll,
Overdraft.
yes, and so, you know, we didn't have that. Maybe we should have, I don't know, but that was just one thing.
So one thing I thought about after we talked about that a little bit over a weekend is when it all happened and we were all like,
Well, and it kept going.
yeah. So anyways, when we initially, maybe when I was getting put on those accounts, like we all had to go in person and sign. And at this point, it's just us three that are still on that account. And we had always said, like when Michael got on, well, maybe let's wait and see till we get another person on, or we knew there was gonna be some rotating of the board, and we didn't, and the accountant had to sign so that she could make those changes. And we were discussing of going to a local bank versus a larger bank. that might look after us a little bit more.
We can
And those,
communicate
and we
with them.
can communicate more with and that kind of thing. So after you brought that up, and I was like, well, that's true, maybe if we were with a more local bank that knew us. I'm glad she called us on a Friday night, Saturday, I don't know whenever it
I
was.
mean, for me to get the
And-
call,
but
I
I'm-
was like, oh, wait, huh?
I'm shocked, I'm glad you answered,
Yeah.
it looked like it was total spam.
Yeah, and I was like, hold on,
Yeah.
let me just.
And
well,
then I
try Evan
still,
first.
you got, yeah,
And
then
then I
Abby
signed.
got me.
And I'm like-
And I'm like, let's get Evan too, like, does a bank usually call you on Friday after? It was like
Yeah.
right at 5 or after 5,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it was real
Well,
close.
the
So it
worst part
all right.
was though, I
And then
mean, that was
called us
irrelevant.
back.
They'd already bounced.
I
It'd
know,
been different if you was calling me and say, hey, I wanna pay this.
I want to cover
But,
this
oh
for
yeah,
you.
and there's some more that bounced too. I mean, that just tore me up. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought at some point, we need to, no matter what, update accounts.
Yes.
Yeah.
To get everybody on the board, on the
Yes.
accounts, so people can sign checks, but if, that would be a time to move if we want to
There are,
look at
the
that.
previous boards also had the opinion that you need to switch every so
Switch
often
every so
just to support the
Different
different
banks.
banks. And we have
Mhm.
remained with this one for a long time.
Long time, yeah.
So that's another factor.
Yeah. So, I'm good with whatever.
I mean, the city's managing our finances. I guess we need to find out if they're okay with us moving, if we wanna move.
Yes, yeah. Ask the accountant, since she does a lot of the work and. I don't put you on each, she's not.
Well, it's handy to have.
Multiple
just in case
signers.
we need
So the accountant signs the checks and then,
one of y'all.
yeah, so there's 2 signatures, not just one. That
Yeah,
makes
I
you
mean,
feel
we've
better.
got good control,
Yeah.
but we're not
I
making,
know, oh, yeah,
we're not making the deposit
Me.
transfers.
I know.
So we can't control that, so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's, Abby, you work on that,
Okay.
let us know,
Let
okay?
us know what's suggested.
The next meeting is January the 13th, is the proposed next meeting.
That's the second.
January
Are
13th.
you teaching class in this semester?
I am. I teach every spring, and so I don't know when it starts, and I don't have them on here. And I don't ever, I should know, that's when I know when school starts, is when I have to teach. But I do not know when it starts, so can we look, cause we.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a
And
little
then let me
time.
know it, and then, cause we know we talked about trying to find another time to meet, just in
Mhm.
case, cause I
Right.
know like Dion, so.
Right.
So, so let me get my calendar,
Okay.
and then let's see about the
Okay.
meeting.
What time it needs to be.
Yep, and it may be a different day, we'll make sure, we'll send out some information about when we can meet,
Okay.
that's convenient for everybody. Is any other business that I missed here? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion?
I'll say.
Second? All in favor? Alright, thank y'all for y'all's time.
Thank you. I hope you get some rest the rest of the day.